what about, David, we do a little walk when you're about done?
Okay, rolling.
Okay, this is the last day of our Telecine operation in Ripponlea. In fact, the Telecine area was rather large. We used to occupy from the door of their pan right through, right up the end of the corridor here. Stop there, David, you'll crash. Panning around into maintenance. And we occupy right through to maintenance. We used to have 6 Telecine machines operational, 2 slide scanners, 2 caption scanners, and various other odd bits and pieces. The last day we'll show you how we work still. Bit of that. I'll just clear it a bit. I haven't got a double system film actually, I don't think. I'll just check. Oh yes, I might have one. One of these. We have got one. Yeah, I'll just try and think. First of all, we maybe should just run through what we've got in the area.
Yeah.
Right, this is our last surviving Telecine machine. What we've got left in our area. We've got 1-inch facility still. We've got a very wrecked 16mm fast pull-down Telecine. We've got only one machine, a rank Sintel, circa 1970.
Do you think?
Okay, this machine, the one we still use, started out its life in monochrome days in the station in around about 1970. We actually modified it to make it work properly for 1980s really. We've fitted it with a colour grader, also fitted it with various other bits and pieces. A lot of work done by our techs in maintenance, namely Rodney McDougall. But the machine actually performs very well. It's still basically the same as it was in 1970. It's a twin lens scanner, a flying spot tube. The flying spot tube is still the current one that's used by rank Sintels in the 1990s, so we can still get supplies. But the machine is still pretty much the same really as Logie Baird thought about them in circa probably about 1925 or 1930, though the original design was a Logie Baird design. In fact, Sintel, the company, was in fact a Logie Baird company until Rank bought them out. So the design goes way, way back. But their basic principle is actually still used today on more modern machines. Quick look at the machine, scanning tube, twin lens system, photo multiplier box. That's about all. There's nothing else in them. On the other side, just racks of electronics. What we call the colour grade, which is basically the video channel, contour corrector, and various other scan controls.
Point to the lens block basically now. Okay.
Okay, next to the Telecine, we've got 2 16mm sprocketed sound reproducers, one of them which is in fact a recorder as well. A lot of the films we made here probably up until the mid-1990s were running double system sound. The master sound was on sprocketed magnetic and we use them extensively. These machines can both follow the Telecine precisely. Also, we have our Kinney machine alongside there, which we make film records from any electronic media, mainly used for making work prints for editing on a Steenbeck from electronic original, but also films for theatrical release.
Just keep talking with this as a wild track.
It's basically a standard ARRI BL camera circa 1960s, from which we mount 400-foot standard magazines on the front, or on the top, pointing at a precision monitor which is carefully aligned. The camera also has some specialised tacks and locking systems, so it locks up to the system, the TV station, which it does very well. Again, designed by Rodney McDougall. Okay, we've got quarter-inch facilities which we can lock up to either the Telecine or any VTR. DAT player in the rack, a recorder. We can also run DATs to any film or VTR or VCR. We've got SP Betacam facilities here. We've also got 1-inch C format, and when required we bring the digital Betacams down as well. We've got an encoder in our rack. The console in front of us, we have a lot of control over the colour on films. We've got a Rank Intel secondary colour corrector. We've got a Rank Amigo programmable corrector, in other words, which basically programs the whole of the colour controls and gains, lift and various else on the panel there. The main original Rank Intel colour grade controls, which gives us control over whites, gammas and blacks. And we've also got a Bosch composite colour corrector to the left of that, which we can use for just standard composite colour correction. However, it's not programmable, unfortunately. Various monitoring aids in front of us. We've got a analog component display, RGB display, which is out of the Telecine. We've also got a vectorscope display and also standard composite display as well on the left of that. Monitoring in front of us, we've got precision monitors, both in composite and analog component, with a D6500 white reference behind the monitors to give us some idea of what we're doing white balance wise. Also, we have an audio mixer on the desk as well available to us, and character generator as well, and also a graphic equalizer available to us as well. The rest of the area, basically, we've got a micro editor which we can control trigger both the Telecine and also control the SP Beta. And we were trying to control the 1-inch C format machine as well. However, we failed there due to lack of a proper interface. And that's about all. And we might run through a brief operation of the Telecine. One thing we forgot, we've got a rack of domestic VCRs and also U-matic formats, all three of them. System one, just as a quick demo. Right, Nick, I'll put that up for you as soon as I finish here.
When you get ready.
Okay, go.
Yep.
Right, we'll just demonstrate the loading up of a quick double system. Archival Film X Tassie.
Rolling.
Okay, we've got the image and we'll load that on the Telecine before we load the sound. This is in fact some Southwest Wilderness Archival X Tasmania, which we're going to put onto SP for preservation. So he's breaking the film, so we'll do that again. Film probably dates from about circa 1970 something, even the spacer they've used. It dries out and gets quite brittle. Okay. This is the image which we're loading up. It's... oh, is he dropping everything? Oh, do it again, David, kill it again. It should be on a reel, make it properly, but anyway. This is the image we're loading up. It'll consist of colour reversal, probably circa 1970s, from Tasmania's archive collection, which we're going to transfer onto SP as a preservation and access copy for them. The machine's very easy to load up. Just threading it through the image, through the gate now. I'll be giving it a mute loading, avoiding the sound system in the projector because it can scratch. Next, I'll just run the image down to picture start in the gate and we'll load the sound up at the appropriate spot. Cut. I'll just run the film back. David. It's going to come up pretty quick. Okay, here we go. Right, you just run the picture down until we see picture start, leading into the gate. Then we'll sync up the audio, which has got an appropriate sync mark. Cut. Yeah, it's not labelled. Oh no, just set mag.
Rolling.
Okay, we've got the appropriate sound for that reel, which we'll put on the machine. It's just a matter of loading it up and running it down to a start mark, which corresponds to picture start on the film leader. Just waiting for the picture start marker to come down, which won't be very long away. In fact, here it comes now. All I do now is simply tell this machine to follow the Telecine machine, which it will do right now. Right, format. Now, can you see me at the console here?
Yes, I can. I'm looking.
Okay. Just set the
You are ready, sir.
roll it.
Frame now.
Okay, we just roll it then, David. You roll. Okay, we just run the film in. Setting the audio level on the mixer and quickly doing a colour balance.
If anyone on the Liberals' campaign trail had any doubt,
A rough balance to start with on the film.
Today would have helped change their mind. With the snow blowing off Mount Wellington, Andrew Peacock.
And there we see Andrew Peacock,
the only Liberal premier
circa 1970 something. Right, happy with that there's a rough balance has been achieved. What I would normally do is run back to the start, enter a 0 time for the programmable colour corrector, and program and correct each individual shot one at a time and enter the corrections into the corrector. So when we play the film back to go to the SP, corrections will be performed automatically. 0 reference for our colour corrector. The colour controls?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, got a tighter shot. Just yes, I guess fiddle with that one a bit.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, that's good.
The lights from the light's going to come from the monitor more than this one. Yeah. Except it's going to go black as soon as the picture starts.
Well, you want to have a bit of red, just so I suppose just look like you're doing something there.
Yeah.
And maybe you could roll the picture or whatever and we'll see it in the back.
Okay.
If anyone on the Liberals' campaign trail had any doubt
There we go.
Australia is different from the rest of Australia, today would have helped change their mind.
This is news film circa 1970s.
Warmly greeted the only Liberal premier in the country. Yet Mr. Peacock might not need reminding, but only last year...
I'll put up some light from the monitors.
To such an extent, the parliamentary team there is now...
From the monitors.
So there's no telling what lay behind the genial smiles when Mr. Peacock introduced Mr. Grey to Sir William Knox, the leader of what's left.
Shots of the film rolling and unrolling. Right, we're just going to enter a couple of grades now. I'm just happy with that first grade on there. simply move it to the last field, enter it into the colour corrector, move on to the next shot.
But the liberals now are desperate to show unity.
This particular film is very blue and a lot of variations in exposure because it was photographed on original reversal
First week of the campaign.
with little colour correction filtering available for the film cameraman. You get a lot of colour variations. I don't have the luxury of being able to press white balance. We've got quite a range of colour available. With a secondary colour corrector as well, we can vary the hue and saturation of both primary and secondary colours as well.
But then defeat is what the selection is all about. The polls say it, the pundits say it, it's political life. Obviously, this is something to overcome.
Frankly, I've never doubted it, just as I never doubted that Mr. Hawke would debate with me. He's never yet turned down a chance.
Okay, back to the head.
So, we're seeing that
A luncheon Tasmania's business leaders in trouble. As Robin Gray was warming up the crowd, he touched on the topic most dear to his heart, the Franklin Dam.
is that the Prime Minister has got no credibility in this state. He came down here in February 1983, told us that he was going to do all sorts of wonderful things for Tasmania. You all know, and Tasmanians all know, that the only promise that he's kept has been to stop the dam. We haven't seen anything.
I don't think, but it should go back into our own archive in here. So
Well, it's on SP, so it should.
yeah, it'll dub down, all right. Yeah, you can do that. Oh, careful. We said it all, I think.
Yeah.
Probably said it all.
Yeah.